Hey guys, so I decided to do a little video of what to have in your first aid kit for horses. I literally have a toolbox that you buy from any hardware store where I keep all my horses' medical supplies in. So I thought, why not go through it and show you what I've got in my kit. Should an emergency pop up, should a vet take a while to get here, you make sure you've got, some of the important stuff on hand. So I'm going to try my best to show you what I've got. Okay, just bear with me because I've got my phone on the front camera, so when I do show you something, the names is going to be a bit like, yeah. Anyway, so we're going to start off with a big roll of cotton wool. Very important, always comes handy. Then I have 2 hoof picks. Don't necessarily need 2, but I've got 2 in my box. So always have them on hand in the first aid kit box. If a horse pulls up lame, I always start off with checking their hooves. Maybe there's like a stone stuck in there or something stuck in there, and you can clean the foot out or the hoof out and see if you can find anything that's causing the lameness. Then I have what we call Flunixin. So this is green paste. It's an anti-inflammatory, comes very handy, especially if a horse has a high fever. Like recently I had a horse that had biliary and had a very high fever, and the vet recommended Flunixin. My vet always asked, like, listen, do you have Previcox or Flunixin on hand? If you do, give this amount for so long. Try that, if it's not an emergency. If it is an emergency, I would wait for the vet to come and evaluate the horse. So I've got Flunixin. It smells really nice, but I'll show you what, like, that's the green paste basically that's in there. Almost like an apple flavor going on. Then I've got this black ointment. I'm not going to even try and pronounce it, but I'm showing it to you, but I've got my front camera on for this. But it's like a black salve cream thingy. In Afrikaans we call it treksalf or swartsalf. Then I also have Previcox. Previcox I always have handy because this is like magic in a tablet. If you can't get a vet out or whatever the case may be, my vet always asks, listen, do you have Previcox? Give a Previcox, quarter Previcox for 3 or 4 days and see how it goes. If it doesn't improve, then the vet will come out and assess the horse. But basically these were the bigger Previcox tablets that I just ended up making into little quarters, because you don't give a full big Previcox. Big tablets always make in quarters. Also just give a quarter tablet a day. If it's a smaller tablets, then you give 1 small tablet a day. But then again, follow your vet's instructions. Ask the vet first. Then of course I've got F10 germicidal barrier ointment. Mine's almost finished, but always I keep this in my box. Then of course I've got my needles, bunch of them, syringes, bunch of them. I've got small ones, big ones, short ones, fat ones, thin ones, whatever you want to call it. Then I have, and I actually have a few of these, but I always just keep 1 in my first aid kit box. This is EcuGel from Bioenhancement. It's a topical wound treatment for cuts, wounds, abrasions, mud fever, and skin irritations. And you can use it on your dogs and your cats as well. And it actually is really, really nice to have on hand. I think I've got about like 6 or 7 of these. So very handy to have in your first aid kit box. Then of course, very important, thermometer. I always make sure that I've got 2 of them in my box, because I've had times where I grab one and the battery is flat and it's not working, or it's giving me issues, and then at least I know I've got a second one in there that I can go and grab and take the horse's temperatures, especially before I phone the vet, because the first thing the vet asks me is what is the horse's temperature, and capillary responses and all of that. So I give all the vital signs, temperatures, everything that I could pick up. Yeah, so very important. Always make sure that I've got 2. If you can have more in there, perfect, great. Then of course I have, I'm not entirely sure what this is, but it's like a sticky tape plaster type thing. Mine is just dirty, but you know, if you just want to hold a bandage in place or something, whatever, keep it in hand, might come handy, you never know. And then for some reason I have plaster of Paris like bandage thingy. I'm not going to take it out of the bag, but that's like if you want to make a cast or something. I actually think I put this in here in case a human might break something, or you never know, you might need it for something, and I'll see a TikTok video of someone using something similar and I'll be like, okay, cool, can use it for that one day. And then of course this is just unmedicated dressing, just a bandage. What else do we have in here? So I literally made sure that I'm like stocked up. It is quite difficult in our area to get a vet out very quickly, so it is handy when, you know, if I phone a vet and the vet goes, listen, do you have this and this and this? If you do, treat the horse so long, do this, do that, while I wait for the vet to come out, because yeah, our vets, the one vet stays about an hour away, and then we've got another vet that's about 35 minutes away. So either way, if I can't get hold of one of them, or they're busy or whatever, then I'll ask them, listen, I do have this and this, can I use it? How should I use it? And then I'll do that while I wait for the vet to come out. Then of course, seeing that it's winter season and we've had so much rain, it's never ending, I've invested in these babies, poultice pads. Seeing that some horses like getting abscesses this time of the year, so I've got 2 of these poultice pads, and then I have this one as well. So you can do hot dressing, dry dressing, cold dressing, and yeah, this is actually very neat. I quite like this one, but I couldn't find this one. I only have one, but I managed to get these. So basically with this, I've got my Epsom salts as well. I'll just put some Epsom salts on this, put it under the hoof, pack it in, wrap it, Bob's your uncle, wait for the abscess to pop eventually. Then another thing that I have, gloves, surgical gloves. Always have a pack in here. I keep them sealed because sometimes if they're not sealed, like in a little bag or something, the gloves tend to get like brittle and will break easily. So I just put mine in a bag, and then I've got 2 more boxes on the shelf behind me, where like the rest of my medical stuff is. But yeah, so I just gloves. What else? Oh, and then I actually bought this off of Horse SA. It's a Lister Pico. It's a little clipper and it's very tiny. Wait, let me do that. I've got small hands, but anyway, just to give you an idea. So this little thingy comes extremely handy when your horse has a cut, when they're very fluffy and you need to clean around the wound. I just shave, clean it up, and then it's easy for me to apply any wound dressing. Can also use it for, you know, showing queens, trimming ears, we don't do that stuff anymore. Like, I hate trimming ears, don't trim beard. Yeah, my horse is a horse for a reason, and it's got it for a reason, so I leave it. Then what else do we have here? Oh, scissors. I always try and find my scissors. Sometimes they just, you know, get feet and leave the property, never come back. So I end up buying scissors like at least 3-4 times a year, which is probably not bad, but scissors. Then of course my favorite, and comes very handy, bed wrap. So I mean, I love blue, I hate orange, but it's all that I was able to get. But I got bed wrap. Then, and I've got quite a few of them, because believe me, especially if you do poultice your horse's feet for an abscess, you use quite a bit of these. But what I do is I use the vet wrap, but then I also have duct tape. So I make my little thingy against the wall with the duct tape, which I stick underneath the hoof to keep everything there after putting the vet wrap on. And then I use the duct tape, and then a feed bag to cover it, you know, the whole thing. I'm not gonna go into detail with that. Okay, vet wrap. Deborah's Arm wound dressing. So this is absolutely amazing. I had a pony at my yard called Basyan, who, I don't know if it's like 2 or 3 years ago now, but he had a op in his front hoof for a keratoma that they had to remove, and it was as big as a 5 rand coin. And then the vet actually sent one of this with him to use, and it's the first time that I used it, and I must say I was really impressed. It even has like a little thingy like that, so easy to reach if you've got maybe like difficult places or whatever, or really just want it on the wound. You just stick it in like that, and you know. So that's that. I'm not gonna get it back in now, am I? Nope. Okay, whatever, we'll just pop it in there again. Then I just have some PJs, Equine Supplies adhesive bandages. I've got 2 of them. And then of course I have Plastman gauze. So basically it looks like this, but I had to buy new ones because my thingy was open and got dirty, but that's what's in there. So I've got a few of them, easy to, you know, like clean wounds or apply dressing, or if you need to close a wound, you stack it on there, wrap some vet wrap on, and Bob's your uncle. What else? Oh, then of course I have some F10 disinfectant wipes. This is just a refill pack, so I need to put it in my little container. Basically this is for disinfection of hard surfaces, equipment in industrial, domestic, institutional areas, effective against bacteria, viruses and fungi. So very handy to have, you know, especially if you have to use your scissors, or if I use my little clippers, I would take one of these and just wipe it off. Even my hands, I wipe my hands with it wherever I work, wipe it off. So it comes very handy. Then I have zinc oxide, which is a first aid cream. It's actually my first time buying this, and I am very interested to see how it works. It is quite expensive, but apparently it is amazing. So zinc oxide cream. I actually want to smell it. It smells nice. That's what it looks like. And this, suitable for sensitive skin, water resistant, protects and promotes the natural recovery of minor wounds and abrasions, sunburns, and capped skin. Soothes. I am Afrikaans, bear with me. Soothes sore, tender, and itchy skin. So, very handy. I've got a horse with a pink nose, so this is going to come handy in summer. Eventually, if summer decides to, you know, show her face. Then I've got Agrisolve. Heals and protects damaged skin. This is literally amazing. In Afrikaans we call it pompoensalve, pumpkin cream, because it's like orange. It's got a very strong smell, but this is really amazing. I use it especially in winter for horses that end up getting mud fever, and I'm really very happy with the results that I've seen on this. And you don't just have to use it for mud fever, you can literally use it for any wounds or scrapes or whatever, but this is like magic in a pot. Yeah, I'm packing out, and I have to like, and I packed it so neatly, so when I'm finished I'm just gonna dump everything in here and then call it a day. Then we have glycerine. Itchamol aids in relief of inflammation. So I always have this handy. I actually do have a little bit left on the shelves behind me, but I had to buy a new one. So I make a mixture with this, I don't know if you can see it, and Epsom salts, mix it, and then I will also use copper sulfate. My little tubby is there at the back. Copper sulfate, I make a mixture, and then I put it on the poultice pad. So when I poultice for an abscess, I put that on, stick it on there, wrap it, Bob's your uncle. So really like this. Something I don't have in my medical box, but it's standing on the shelf behind me, is peroxide. Hydrogen peroxide. Let's see. And of course I've got activated charcoal. I've got glucose. So you know, like bigger things that don't fit in my first aid box is on the shelf. So then I've got my hydrogen peroxide, which I also use to like, if we have horses with thrush or something like that, squirt it in there. There's my little needle that I use. You don't poke it into the hoof, it's just easier to get to the area, and it just kills all the bacteria and stuff. And they say it's for the disinfection and cleansing of wounds and ulcers, so great thing to have on hand. What else do we have? Oh, of course, more Flunixin. Can never have too much Flunixin. And then another elastic adhesive bandage, which is still in the box. And I think I've got bigger bandages as well, like longer ones, but I'm not going to take them out. You know, this is just like a basic stuff that I have in my first aid kit box, so that if anything has to happen, I grab my box, head to the horse, and start treating. I can't think of anything else that I've missed. I mean, there's so many stuff you can actually put in your box and have on hand. But yeah, I've got my Epsom salts, activated charcoal. Then I have, oh, this is the other one that I have. I also like to, but I need to refill on this chlorodextine disinfectant, bacterial and fungal concentrated disinfectant. That I also just keep. It's like pink, smells nice, but yeah, doesn't fit in my box, by the way. Yeah, I think. Oh, and then I've got, also this is supposed to go in my box, betadine antiseptic solution, which is also very nice to disinfect wounds or lacerations or anything like that. This is actually, I bought it at Dis-Chem, and actually for humans, but it works like a charm. And it's cheaper than buying it from a tack shop. So yes, that is my video. It's my first time making a video like this. Yeah, if you have any questions, drop a comment, like, share, and if you want me to do another video similar like this, give me some ideas, and I will try and surprise you. But anyway, take care, have a good day, chat soon.